A good day to you all, ladies and gentlemen of the press. My name is Comrade Watson Atson, the spokesperson of the Zinasu UZ chapter. With me here are my fellow comrades, our vice chairperson for Zinasu, Comrade Abiona Mataranyiga. From my far left is Comrade Leroy Madosi, the Zinasu chairperson for UZ, and on my far left is Comrade Alan Maringiri, who happens to be the commander of students. Chairman, I hand over to you.
Okay, thank you, Watson. As already mentioned, my name is Leroy Madosi. I'm the UZ Zinasu chairperson, and we have convened here today. To condemn the cleanup campaign, which has been scheduled for the 5th of December 2018 by the overzealous administration of the University of Zimbabwe, where they've decided to call upon one Emerson Mnangagwa to facilitate the cleanup campaign. Okay, our major concern as the union is that there is the condomnization of the students' body by the erect and dysfunctional system, who are trying to bribe our students, currently faced with the examination pressure, to go to this farce event. They're trying to bribe them by giving them t-shirts, caps, and a free meal ticket. This signals the level of desperation that the administration is at to appease their masters, their paymasters. Our concern as the Students' Union, we are there to advocate for the students' rights and to ensure that we are being protected, our funds are being protected. It has come to our attention that the funds that are going to be used for the event are coming from the Students' Union accounts. As the students, we pay a subscription of $1 per semester, which goes towards the Students' Union, which is there to facilitate for my needs at the students. But then those funds are being channeled to facilitate such events, of which it has come to our attention that the cleanup campaign is named Cleaning Up Jecha. If you must know, the Clean Up Jecha campaign, there have been recent statements in the political world about Kudira Jecha or something. And then there comes the administration with a cleanup campaign named Kuduku Cleaner Jecha, which is being facilitated by Emerson Mnangagwa, one of the major players of the political spectrum in Zimbabwe. We are saying this is a politically motivated gathering, which is meant to lobby support on political grounds, and yet they are busy using students for this. The money that is being channeled towards this would have been better used for material which will benefit the students, such as sanitary pads for our female students. Water pumps at our hostels are currently being faced with shortages of water, but then no funds have been channeled towards that cause. They're busy using money to get t-shirts and caps for a cleanup campaign. Not to say that the cleanup campaign idea is a bad one. I give my kudos to the EMA for trying to launch such a thing, but the time at which they are doing this and the level of political involvement in this, it's so bad for the students' fraternity, and thereby as a union we're condemning this. Our position as Zinasu, we are clearly stating that before they go and clean up the streets, what they should do first is cleanse the administration of the University of Zimbabwe. We are riddled with major problems. We have a filthy, trashed administration at campus. They should first cleanse that before they go out and pick up papers. What they should do, I think they should be busy employing people to clean up those papers, not to call upon students who are busy writing the examination. You can check at the University of Zimbabwe. We have a trashed system where there are long queues of food, where our female compatriots are not getting sanitary pads, where our Wi-Fi services are paltry. That the institution is riddled with trash from the administration, not just trash in the literal sense of papers. What they should do first is to cleanse that before they go out and clean the papers. Yes, it's an environmental event as they would love to portray it, but then it also goes back to the system. The system needs to be cleansed first. Before they call upon students, they need to cleanse it. So, as a closing remark, the administration has manifested a paltry bootlicking by affording transportation to the students for this, yet they're failing to avail transport for our students who are non-residents, the students. So as the Zinasu, our official position is that we are not going to allow for that event. We are calling upon students to to not to go to that event. With that, I leave my time to Alan Maringere.
Thank you, Comrade Leroy Mados. As you have heard, I'm Comrade Alan Sidima, the student commissar. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, as the vibrant student community under Zinasu, we condone this behavior using students for political interest. Number one, in summing up what have been said by my fellow Comrade Leroy, we do have many activities in many instances which requires a proper cleansing here at the University of Zimbabwe. The issue of long queues in darks, it requires a clean-up ceremony. The issue to do with poor Wi-Fi services, which has dropped from poor to worse, it requires a major in the proper clean-up campaign. The issue to do with poor food quality in our darks, it requires a proper clean-up campaign. Overpopulated hostels, which are a threat to our health and fundamental social living of the student, it requires a proper clean-up campaign. The best clean-up campaign, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, with the student of the University of Zimbabwe or all students in Zimbabwe to participate, it is a clean-up campaign which is aimed at cleaning up corruption, which is aimed at cleaning up poor policies which are in the government. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot afford as the students, we cannot afford as the Zinasu, we cannot afford as the student who fought for academic freedom to associate ourselves with a president who rejects to associate himself with the student who are fighting for equality. Let's take for example, comrades and friends, last month when there was a graduation at NAST, Denzo Mashita, our president of SRC, was rejected the approval of being in the tent with Mnangagwa. All this was his constitutional right to be there as the SRC president. Going to Midland State University, Comrade Suji, the Zinasu national spokesperson, spent the whole day locked up in a room when everyone was enjoying the graduation, after they are aware that this is a freedom fight for an academic rights. Also here at the University of Zimbabwe, our own student commissar, Treasurer Basopo, and the leader Mahachi were neglected, were rejected, were locked up the whole day here at the University of Zimbabwe, failing to enjoy their graduation, failing to enjoy what they fought for the past 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we are paying $1 to and from the town coming here at the University of Zimbabwe, which is a clear indication of an failed economy, but they are providing buses. They are providing buses and fuel to ferry students to a clean-up campaign which is organized to legitimize the position of the one Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. We are clear on our position as the student. We are clear on our position as Team Zinasu. We are clear on our position as the leading community in having many numbers in the student that we are not going to attend the event. We are clear on our position that the event is aimed at legitimizing something which is illegitimate. Comrades and friends, my heart beats at most when I'm seeing that the economy is going worse, it's crippling down. I'm learning, we are studying, we are writing exams, but next year there are no employment. How can we participate in an event which is aimed at praising someone who's supposed to provide employment to the student? How can we participate in that system? That note, ladies and gentlemen, I say abasha to the authoritarian rule being showcased by Mnangagwa. We say abasha to the system of using the students. The best cleanup we can do in Zimbabwe, the best cleanup with the students, the intellectuals and the thoughtful leaders can participate is the cleanup of cleaning the government, is the cleanup of cleaning up corruption. It is rather best to live in a rubbish environment full of papers, sewage, but rather if you can enjoy a better economy, if you can have a government which is there to secure our jobs, if you have a government which is there to provide clear and understandable path. That's not what we are saying. We are going to pour sand on that. We are going to inform each and every student on that. We are not going to stage a demo, but rather we are going to stage demos in defense of academic freedom. Like what my comrades has once said, we cannot continue to be condomized for such instance. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your time. We thank you for everything that you have contributed. Kalumba locals, the struggle continues unabated and unaborted. And as the team Zinasu, under the leadership of Comrade Leroy Madosi at the University of Zimbabwe, who ensure that the student have attained the academic freedom, who ensure that the student have gained each and every necessity of life, so that the students are happy. Also taking note of the gender representation which is here. We have leader, Comrade Albiona. You ensure that the ladies fraternity has got everything it needs. How can we participate in a society? How can we participate in a situation that have been staged as girls by a leader who is supposed to give us necessities? Ladies and gentlemen, my heart cries. My heart cries.
Thank you very much.